Once again, I've now not, there's not a single purchase I've made in my life that I've been less satisfied with than my internet service. Hi, we've already had one rip. Hope you guys are doing well.
He's in a real good mood.
I'm in a great mood. As of 40 seconds ago, when the stream died.
He hit go live, and then it said, nope.
Yeah. Howdy.
That's
pretty good.
Hello, this is Jog. Fern, what's up, man? Make sure to email me, because I'm gonna want that artwork, buddy.
And of course, you may recognize this is the original soundtrack to
Oh, you did?
Akira
Good.
Kurosawa's
Thank you.
Seven Samurai.
I'll check it when I get home, and I will reply to you.
Boom!
Side business. We're doing side business.
Conducting some commerce. Hi. Here we are.
Hello! Remember this guy?
He's the 8th samurai. Let's fix this just on the fly, because that's how we do stuff.
He looks so sad.
I know.
And if you didn't know
Because
how...
he got left behind. He's like the...
Yeah. He's like the Truffle Shuffle kid.
Mr. Mercantile had it. Gosh, just you know, just to have the last 3 seconds or 15 seconds that we talk about the pawnbroker also be riddled with jokes for no reason. Gosh darn it.
I mean, I laughed a lot during the movie.
Hold on a second. Let's change it to something much more colorful.
I think we should use that Dog Day Afternoon one.
For everything?
For everything.
That should just pop up on screen whenever the internet dies. There we go.
Look at these badasses.
Oh man.
Now, who has seen Seven Samurai before or watched it for the stream? Who has seen this wonderful movie?
Oi,
Give us a one. Give us a 1 if you've seen it before.
You've seen it, Artiflex.
Yup. Seen it, but it's been a hot minute.
Been a hot.
Yeah, it had been a long time for me too. It's also not a casual endeavor because it's like 4 hours long.
You say Ichi? Ichimoji?
Ichimochi.
Ooh, you had to pack a lunch. Yeah, right.
Does it? It has an intermission, right?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
It certainly does. Ichi means one in Nihongo. That's true. Ichi ni san yongo roku shichi hashi.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I took a little correspondence course between yesterday and today. No, I didn't. No, I
were you teaching?
Oh, I was teaching English to Chinese children.
Yeah. Did you pick any Chinese up along the way? You were like, you speak my language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and I got fired.
That's usually how that goes.
Yep. Oh, hey. Hello? Yeah.
You need to step out for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's okay. I just have a spiel.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys a hot little update about my adventures with Sekiro. So here's the deal. I beat Ishin after 5 hours. Spread out 5 hours on the last night, but spread out over 3 days. So it took me 3 nights to do it. And on the third night when I did it, I spent 3 hours. I finally got really close. I managed to do a lightning strike reversal, which was amazing. And it was the first time I did it, and it actually took him down to his final death blow marker. But because it was the first time I had ever done a lightning reversal, and I was already so tense from adrenaline that I was shaking, and then I saw the death blow marker, but I was far enough away from him, and I was so confused because I couldn't believe I did it. And then I had never done that lightning move, so I thought I had still been hit. And so anyways...
This is the greatest story I've ever heard.
Anyways, he he gets. By the time I got over to him, I ran towards him when I realized what was happening, and I sprinted across the field. I got right up to him, and by the time I got to him, he had stood back up, and he.
Oh, that's because I was like,
and
it takes a while, but you were way, way back.
I was way back, yeah, about as far as you can within
Like
the radius of the lightning.
Yeah.
And then, no joke, I freaked out because I was so ramped up, and I was like shaking, and then it did it. And you know, I was so used to getting struck by lightning, and then just having a huge amount of health. I thought that's just what happened again, and then I had to put it together that I had reversed it. Because it was the first time that had ever happened for me.
Yeah.
In that fight. And I just blew it. I blew it. I completely blew it. And he got, by the time I got right up to him, right as I'm about to slash him, he just went, shoo! And I died, and I had to take 5 minutes by myself at like 3 in the morning.
5 minutes? I think I would have. I think that would have been like, yeah.
I screamed into a pillow. I gathered myself up. I debated whether or not this entire game was worth it. Because by that point it had been 3 hours. It was 3 a.m. and I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And I was like, I don't want to spend another night on this.
Yeah. I know.
I
you
can't.
get to that point, you're like, this is not.
It's not acceptable.
You're not taking this. From
Yeah.
You're not taking another night of my life.
And so for me, I just like that was it. That was my shot. And
exactly in blood.
you know what they say about hesitation? I don't want to hear it anymore.
No, when it was sold on Mavlong, he was moved to Alaska work on a crab boat. Which I'm like, yep. Yeah. But it's so amazing.
Oh,
now keep going.
It was brutal. And
he sold his PlayStation, and now he's much happier.
I picked myself back up, and and after about 10 minutes, I started again because there's just no option. I did all this mental stuff in my head. It took me about 15 minutes to pick the controller back up because I had to go through the mental process of being like, do I want to continue this?
Yeah.
And how, like, is it gonna happen? Like, am I gonna be able to do it tonight? Because if I can't do it tonight, do I really want to spend another night on this? All these things. Like, I was having an internal debate with myself in the middle of the night by myself in my living room with no one around at 3 in the morning. I decided to just continue just to see. And of course that thing happens where for the first next five playthroughs, I can't get through Genichi. I cannot get through him, which is only adding more fuel to my rage. And so it took me another 2 hours to finally beat him. And the entire time, every time I died, there's that 8 seconds where it's loading again.
Yeah.
And every time I died, all I could see was I would close my eyes. It was that pulsing red dot that I had missed. That death blow. It was burned into my brain. Was him kneeled on the ground with the dot, and I'm like, I didn't get it. I can't believe I didn't get it. That was my shot, and I just didn't do it. And it was just taunting me the whole time. And I really, it was not a fun 2 hours. And then, but what was interesting,
to get that close to your dream and not reach it, that would kill most men.
I was broken because after an hour, I was like, I can't believe it. I'm not going to do it. And I was at such a low that I really did have a moment. This is so stupid, but like I had a moment of clarity where I was like, oh, this is what this game is trying to. It's like, I'm going to beat you down so much that you really do. You thought you're at your lowest. Here's the real low.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to continue and beat him because you're
Yes.
close?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just stop now?
He's the stern father to us all.
Yes.
He's behind there going, this is for your own good.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
And I have to say, when I finally beat him, I was like, it's kind of cool that happened to me.
It is incredibly
because
cool.
it felt so sad.
That's-
I felt
that's
like I
the
really
most-
earned it.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you did it and then you did it
Yeah.
again. Absolutely.
Woo!
This game is a lesson on humility.
Are you there,
Or
guys?
something.
Speak, chef.
Mission complete.
It is a lesson on humility. It really is.
And it's just, you just kind of go like, it's because like, well, God willing, it's the closest that any of us will really get to like, where you just go like, you have to go, and then you have to dig deeper.
It's that
like,
Rocky thing.
Yeah.
It
like,
really is.
I'm never going to win an NBA championship. I mean, never say never. But it's like, but like
Akasha just comes up here, and you're in the middle of it, and you're just your head is in your hands. You're just like, I'm never gonna win an NBA championship. You know,
it's like I'll come back in a few months when that's what these games do. Now play one live for us so we can sump on your sorrow.
you might have a little treat at the end of this.
You might.
Maybe
we
not.
get to talk.
Maybe you will. Maybe you're not. But and then so here's where I'm at now. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I beat him. That was great. And now I'm going to. I went back. I skipped all the headless monsters. I went back and I beat all those.
Which is something we have not done at all.
And I have to say, I had watched so many playthroughs of like how to beat headless. And by then I was just. I don't know if it was because I beat Ishin and he gave me more vitality or whatever, but like I forgoed all the strategies and I just put some divine confetti in it and just started hacking away.
Yeah, man.
And it worked.
Yeah,
I beat all of all 4 in an hour. Like
that's awesome.
I just flew through.
How did you have that much confetti?
Because I had a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
And then you can just buy them from the guy at the dilapidated temple.
I started going after. That's interesting. I started going after him, and then like, I got the underwater one.
Those are bitches. Ugh, those are way.
But they got way less health. And you just,
but still, I was just like
because what I did, I got the one with the carp where there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
there's like a ghosty one. And whatever.
That was the hardest one for me.
Huh? Oh, that's interesting. Well, so I got those guys, and then I think we got another one that was by the cave that you get to, like you go underwater and come up.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I got that.
Oh,
guy.
so you got 2 of them.
You
only have 2 more.
Yeah, but I was like, someone says there's 5.
Are there
there's
5?
There's another underwater one.
Well, I read that there were 5, but then I read that there were, and then someone said it was actually the 5 because there's the ghost one under the lake. Is that true, or is there a 5th one?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, one in a cave. I thought I got the one in a cave. I don't think we left him unkilted. I think we killed the one in the cave, and we got the 2 underwater. But I just kind of was like out of confetti, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I thought we got the cave, but I also remember running out of confetti.
But you should be at a point where you can just go buy it.
I can. I just don't. I don't really have money.
Do you know where to get money? Real quick.
You mean farming money?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
You're at the point now, so you go to the Ashina outskirts stairways, and you can essentially death blow like guys with a lot of XP, and they give you. You can basically get 1,000 coins per run. Per run, which is about 3 minutes.
And that's what we were doing because I was farming. I was going to. I can't even remember the name of the place. I haven't played it in a while now. And if I think about it, I go, oh, sad that I don't have reason to play. I do have reason to play. There are 2 bosses still out there. But I would go to the place with the suckers who enfeeble you.
I hate those guys.
They suck. But we gathered up a lot of. I can't even remember what. Oh, we got that to buy the mask. That's what we did last time. Farming nobles in Fountainhead. Yeah.
I got the mask.
That farm spot is the one you used. Good one. Ton of skill and money very quick. Well, cool. I'll try that next time because the thing with that one is like I'd never used a sugar ever the entire game.
I know.
And then like someone was like, use a sugar, you'll be invisible to those enfeebling guys. But it didn't matter. Well, I guess it did, but like you can't stand up and run. I was like, if it's invisible sugar, it should work when I'm walking. But whatever. Because several times I tried to run through and I'd build up stuff, and then someone would be like, "From downtown, you're an old bastard," and I'd be like, "You motherfucker!" They would babality me, except opposite babality me, and I would, and then you're just sitting there going like,
"Oh, it's
and
then crazy."
The guy goes,
yeah,
crack, or whatever he does, and bones you in the mouth, little bastard. Anyway, that's really fun. Yeah. Well, I want to know that place. Okay. Well.
And I have 1 boss left.
Oh yeah, so he's gotten.
I'm at Demon of Hatred.
And how long did you fight him?
I only fought him 5 times last night for the very first time, and I got destroyed.
Yeah, he's a mother for a while.
I haven't like researched him at all. I just tried to do it,
And you haven't seen different phases or anything.
nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing at all.
Um,
I'm gonna research him, figure out.
that's what
He's. I heard he was like a. The only thing I heard was that he was like more of a Dark Souls type boss, where dodging might be more effective. But you're telling me that you can parry.
It's effective. And that's what we were kind of, because I was saying I'll call him a Bloodborne boss for a long time, but then someone made the point, and it is, and then once I found out how to fight him, I was like, okay, it is. It's both. He looks like a Bloodborne boss. You dodge him kind of like a Bloodborne boss, but you also Sekiro some stuff in there because it does change the game when you start. And it's so funny because after playing the game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I see a new dude and I go, well, this guy's a different kind of guy. There's no way I can deflect him.
Yeah,
and it's always like, an hour and a half in, I go, I'll try. Oh, I can deflect that, and I go, I should deflect. And it's so funny because
that's what's so crazy to me because I went into it being like, he looks crazy intimidating, but I know that's how it always is with anyone.
Yep.
And then I went and I tried to parry him, and I just kept getting stomped on repeatedly. So I guess I'm just doing it
wrong. Did you fight? Yeah, right?
Double Monkey, Headless Ape, and his wife or whoever? Yeah. Yeah, I think I've gotten everybody.
Jeff told me the demon secret, so he knows.
I do know that, yeah.
Jeff
which is awesome and like
it is awesome.
Tragic and beautiful, and I couldn't believe that it's not just baked into the story.
Yeah.
So you just like really, it's very clear, like in a cinematic.
He should be the final
happened.
boss. I feel like he should be the
He'd be more satisfying.
Yeah, I would rather go toe to toe with
like a sword
the
fight
sculptor
with him
for hours and hours and hours and hours.
What if it was a sword fight with him and he still just has the one arm and he's just that good?
Well, yeah, but he should have every single prosthetic weapon. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
great.
That's great.
Secret technique tied into defeating him. Do you know the secret technique tied into defeating him?
In Demon of Hatred. No, I know nothing. I haven't researched him at all. I do know the story reveal, though.
Wait, what are you talking about, Fern? Are you talking about something that I didn't find? By the way. Wait, the secret technique is patience.
Patience.
Yeah. All I need is a little patience. If you use the finger whistle that belongs to his former partner, it stuns him.
Oh, the malcontent.
Someone mentioned the music box, and I thought it was a total joke. Wow. It could be DLC. I feel like they're gonna give us one of those memory bells to go to the sculptor's memories. That's cool. He remembers her. Oh, it's like his wife or something? I forgot what the finger is. He's a beast, works on beast.
Yeah.
That's why we said it was a spoiler. Oh. Interesting. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, because the way I got spoiled was someone said something. Someone said something, and then someone tagged it, cleared it, got rid of the message as a spoiler, which made me look at it again and think about what it was again, and then I was like, oh, he's the sculptor.
Yeah. Because I looked up where I thought I did something wrong, because when I went back to the dilapidated temple, he was gone. Yeah. And I thought I'd really screwed up something. Yeah. And so I looked up. I was like, where'd he go? And then that's how I found out.
Yeah. His partner ninja was a female named Kingfisher. Remember when we met that female ninja named Kingfisher? No, that's not in the game. Where does this come from? She got eaten by the ape. Okay.
Oh, I have the flame umbrella. Okay.
The sword in the ape's neck is presumably hers. That's cool. That's a big sword.
That's a huge sword. That's a sword for a huge monkey.
Yeah.
It fit very appropriately, size proportionally in his hand.
Yeah. Read item descriptions.
Yeah, the most effective way to tell a story.
Yeah.
Did you read the pellet description?
Yeah. It's like if you went to see a movie and then someone's like, I didn't get it. It was just it was a person, and then they met another person, and then they killed each other at the end, and nothing made any sense. They go, well, when you bought popcorn, did you read the information, the health instructions, the ingredients? Did you read all of them?
Look, when you went outside and you picked up that ceramic shard, did you read about it?
Did you read
every single time?
Yeah.
Because that's the story.
No, it's a great story. If you don't like getting your lore in disjointed piecemeal, these games aren't for you. No, I can appreciate it.
I just don't care. Like, I like the core story. I got the beats of it. It was very satisfying. I still think it's one of the best games I've ever played, just because it's so darn fun.
Freaking incredible. It's incredible. And the story is great. I love the story.
I just like my stories usually told in a more Last of Us type fashion.
You just like stories.
I like stories.
Yeah.
Told in a narrative way.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Sorry, everybody. Thing is, the core story is far less obvious in Bloodborne. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Agreed. You kind of have to read that stuff. Yep. If you...
I don't like to read.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
Because I did the
Sekiro is much more direct.
I did the super legit version of Sekiro where like everything's in Japanese, not only the dialogue, but like.
But for
the menus are very confusing.
But for NG Plus, we're going to do English.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it'll be like, yeah, Sekiro, I don't think so, buddy.
I haven't heard any of it. I'm very curious to know if it's terrible or not.
It's me, Ishin. I'm Ishin to give you a whipping. Yeah, buddy. Come on, pal.
They're like, oh, they like altered the dialogue, made it far more American. The dub is not good. Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this so that we can maybe get to some Sekiro.
Let's do it.
So here we go. 1954. Akira Kurosawa and the Seven Samurai, or Seven Samurai, not the Seven Samurai.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
This one kinda.
Carson with the oh my goodness gracious.
Whoa.
Sir, you are being invaded. Carson! Subscription. Thanks so much, Carson. Those 27 months. Sweet Mother Mercy and Reed, thank you for those 27 months. How are you, my friend? You literally show up just in time for the actual discussion? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Yup. Did we just become best friends? Yup. Yo, Booch Ticky, thank you for the follow. Larry B, thank you for the follow. Way to maintain your anonymity on the internet, Larry B. I appreciate it. No, thanks, guys. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, Carson. I was talking to Carson Druitt today about Kurosawa, about Seven Samurai, because I popped into his stream. He's an incredible artist. By the way, guys.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, this dude, unbelievable. So he actually, and he also did the little sub icons. I don't know if you ever noticed. There's a bunch of
I do notice
crap happening on the screen.
Yeah.
So we've got these. So
the gold
after 2 years,
gold cop.
after 2 years, you're a gold bro cop.
Gold bro.
Let's see if let's see if we can get. So this is at 1 year you become
Silver cop.
low bro cop. Yeah. Let's just say it's parody, so it's totally covered.
That's what I say.
Fair use. Nope.
I got some lawyers that I.
No. Then this is like a few months in, it becomes, he's been. So first it's normal. Whereas cool, wow, this is pretty. If I can find a normal one, someone sub. No, there's one that's me without getting beat up, and then there's me getting beat up, and then there's we can rebuild him.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then there's
those really look like you.
Broke up. Thanks. Yeah, this is Carson Druitt, man. Whiskey Jam, Douglas SPV, and Meg. Thank you for the follows. Carson threw it on the ground.
Threw it on the ground.
I'm an adult. Guys, follow Carson Druitt. If you're not, all of you came from Carson Druitt, so you are following him. Either way,
throw that raid back at him.
Yeah, boom. Oh, that's not how I want to do that. But if for some reason you were here and didn't come from Carson Druitt, and for some reason you are not following Carson Druitt, you need to follow Carson Druitt because you should do good things in your life that will make you feel good, and that, my friends, is one of them. My goodness gracious. Follow. I'll try this for the third time. But what am I saying? You're already following him. He's amazing. Do it. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Akira Kurosawa.
So
Is it cool that I try to?
I really like it.
Yeah, yeah. it's
I'm not
really-
gonna try to match it.
Yeah, Akira Kurosawa.
So
It's
Akira
probably not- it's probably not the way.
Kurosawa.
It's probably not the way.
Akira Kurosawa.
Akira. I think it's Akira, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
I know that the movie is.
Well, that would seem to make sense. He's named after the movie, right?
Yes. He was born first. Then the movie came out 30 years later.
Yeah, and they were like
40, so,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
60
whoa, whoa.
years later.
Hey, you know that kid that we had, the youngest of our 8, Steve Kurosawa? We're gonna rename him because this movie came out and it's awesome.
It's like it's an honor.
Yeah. Lobo confirmed. Weeb. I am a weeb.
But this movie, like, you know, it's 4 hours, and yet it's one of those movies that
it's Akira.
it's worth it for what you get out of it. Because here's the thing about like
I think it's fantastic.
It's-
I'm gonna go on record as saying that I think Seven Samurai is a
Whoa.
very good film.
What?
Go ahead.
It's interesting because you know when it comes to older movies, I love old movies. I love movies pre 1950. Like I really enjoy that stuff. But like movies these days are just far more emotionally in tune. Where I feel like older movies have a hard time like legitimately making me feel like tearing up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just through and it's all manipulation of modern techniques of like music and you know.
Well, there's a cinematic language that obviously
Has developed,
and we are kind of versed in a certain, you know,
vernacular of
yeah,
like,
exactly. Like
yeah.
we take cues.
Yeah, from and you know, and this is one of the big ones.
Absolutely.
And so it's just so interesting because I watched it and I hadn't seen it in years, and I watched it and I felt a deep emotional connection to
Totally.
it by the end, especially when, spoiler, you know, a few of them don't make it, and you see when they cut to they're about to leave the village and they pass by the hills with the swords on them where they're buried. It's like a real moment, like a real powerful moment.
Totally.
And I always know I'm watching an older movie that I'm just like, I can't even imagine watching this in 1954
With their stupid 1950s
It's
brains.
like, oh, is the train coming?
Idiots.
Is the train
You
coming
idiot.
at me? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's really impressive how modern this movie is now,
Yeah.
because it's 1954, so it's 70
What's that? Years?
years old.
Are we doing math?
1954, 50, 60, so it's 64 years old.
I'm just gonna wait
65
for someone,
years
I'm gonna wait
old.
for someone else to do it. Yeah.
And it's just it really does hold up with like modern storytelling techniques and stuff, and it's because it developed them.
It is.
Like almost single-handedly, like a large portion of this, like the you know, the backstories of several characters and the building of the team, and then the unifying and the villagers and learning their stories, and then you know it's just.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you watch this. I mean, there are movies that get credited with like being revolutions in the vocabulary of cinema, right? Like in terms of the visual vocabulary and the way that information is communicated, and it's you know it's Citizen Kane, it's Birth of a Nation.
It is.
You know, with all the baggage that.
But
is
it
there.
is, yeah.
But you watch this and you go, oh,
Yeah.
that's where Spielberg got it.
Yeah.
That's where Lucas. That's where Lucas got it. Like you go, oh, these things that like, you know, get. And I'm not taking anything away from Spielberg.
No, it's just
I will continue trying, but because that guy needs to be taken
taken
down
down
a couple few pegs. No, but he because you know because he's done what he's done. But like you watch this and go like, oh,
Yeah.
you learned from him.
Yes, exactly.
As well you should.
And they were so.
And thank you for bringing that.
And they were proud of it. They were like,
Absolutely.
you know, when in the 70s, when Kurosawa kind of fell out of fashion in Japan, and was considered old-fashioned, and he had a hard time getting funding.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to kill himself at one point. Like, he tried to commit suicide.
Goodness gracious. I didn't know that.
And then he came to America. I think he was getting an honorary Oscar. He met Coppola and Lucas backstage.
Right.
They professed how big, like, their love for him and what a huge influence he had been on their careers and their storytelling. And when they found out, he didn't tell him because he's, you know, a very prideful and noble, you know. It just culturally, he's
Right.
just he didn't like ask for help or anything.
Right.
But they found out that he was having money issues, like getting his next movie funded.
Right, I
Cage
remember that.
Musha.
Yeah.
And they went to 20th Century Fox and they were like, we'll produce it, and if you fund it.
And then Spielberg paid tribute by casting Toshiro Mifune in 1941.
Right.
Which, what greater honor can there be? In all the annals of Spielberg.
Oh man.
How can you? He's like,
I wonder.
I'm gonna get you in there, Toshiro. I'm gonna get you in there.
I wonder what that must have been like. That must have hurt him so bad. Like Spielberg on a deep level, because like he knows that he messed up. He knew he was messing up as he was making it. He's talked openly about it, but like I forgot that Toshiro Mifune is in that movie.
Yeah, so did I.
And it's like, oh, you got to work with like one of the most legendary guys, and you like probably had a deep respect for him, and then you just failed really bad on that.
I need to give that another shot, but I also kind of feel like I don't need to give it another shot.
I gave it 2 shots, and it's just
it's
not bad. It's just
not funny.
It's not funny, and it's just loud.
Yeah, and the thing
it's
is,
annoying.
It's weird, and I think we've talked about this before. It's strange to watch, because you watch it and you go, it's a comedy without a lot of effective comedy, and it's chock full of funny people, with a great director, and you go, oh, and I think people are like, oh, Spielberg can't do comedy. I go, you're insane. He does comedy constantly in his other films. He does it wonderfully.
He does real life situational, like
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what it is.
It's like in Jurassic Park, The Goonies. I mean,
his movies are very funny, but he can't.
Donner.
He has to weave it throughout the narrative. Of
it's like incidental humor,
adventure.
which is far better.
Yes,
which is great. Like that, it comes organically from the story, like as humor does from life. Yeah. Unless you're just someone who does bits constantly.
Yeah.
Which how exhausting. Wait, where are you going? What are you looking at? What's going on? There's no one. Okay. Yeah.
I think he really mistook like throwing more, which is why it costs so much money. Is he? By the time the tank goes through the paint factory, I was just like,
I don't even remember.
A tank goes through a paint factory, and I was just like, okay.
I gotta rewatch it though. Because you know what's great about 1941. Is
that the music? That's really great.
It's great.
I'm gonna go listen to it on the way.
It's fantastic. It's John Williams, of course. I thought it was incredibly disrespectful when he had Mifune's character sit on a whoopee cushion. Did that even happen? I can't even, like, it did so many bumps.
There's an actual whoopee cushion in this movie.
That's where the movie is.
That's
is
where
that true or no? I don't know. Sorry, I'm not trashing. I feel like there was because I've said this, like, there was a time where I embarked on like trying to watch all the worst movies of all time, or like a number of them, and
then you're like, Ishtar's awesome.
Ishtar's awesome.
Heaven's Gate is
awesome. There were only a couple where I was like, yeah, these are just not. And unfortunately, it was The Wiz by my favorite director sitting on the 1941, and maybe Howard the Duck, where I was like, this is just weird.
I could never even finish it. I was just like, it's not having enough
Howard
fun.
Howard the Duck isn't boring. Howard the Duck is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But unfortunately, 1941 and The Wiz, for being as inveterately strange as it is boring.
It's
and I'm like,
boring.
how is it boring?
It looks boring. It's just boring.
Yeah. Let's do a month of creator story movies. We're definitely going to do like worst movies of all time. I'd love to do movies at Tank Studios because there are a couple of them. Well, we already did. Well,
it's Heaven's Gate, Ishtar,
Cutthroat Island.
That
was one where I watched.
Cutthroat Island.
It's fine. It is one of the best pirate movies ever made.
Yeah.
Because there are not good pirate movies.
I always thought Cutthroat Island was Rob Roy. Because at Blockbuster, the covers were very similar.
And like Matthew Modine kind of looks like Liam Neeson in those two.
I mean, not really, but like I'm dumb enough that where I associate myself. Look, 3 a.m, I'm crying to myself, playing this video game. I want to watch it because I watched Rob Roy thinking, I was like,
as Frank Langella is an evil pirate, it's great.
And I was just like, this isn't bad. And I was like, this is what
destroyed. Oh, people love Rob Roy.
Yeah.
I never saw that one. That's the that's the deep impact to Braveheart.
Yeah. Anyways, how did we get talking about this?
1941,
1941. Right.
which is the beginning of all sadness. Just kidding. Love, hate, burial. What's okay? Well, hot dog and stuff. Hold on. We missed some stuff here. You can already see the talent of Spielberg as an amateur movies he made as a kid. Absolutely. Surprisingly, only appearance. Yeah. Just like Sekido, except no ninjas and a samurais and peasants. Yep. Spielberg. I can't believe they made a live action Sekido. That's what we're talking about. Yep. What's up, Zoe? The movie was more touching for me than Citizen Kane. Absolutely. Yeah, this movie,
for sure.
So I think that's where you were headed, possibly. I think you said it actually, because I teared up more than once and then utterly sobbed at one point.
Which point?
I'm not going to tell you.
Tell me. Because I it's been 2 weeks since I saw it, so tell me.
When
I just remember
when the third bandit dies, I was just really connected to him.
Which one?
No,
silent.
I'm just joking. When he goes, I broke
like the most badass one, and you were like, "That's me. I see myself in him."
But no, I broke down when he's holding the child, and he goes, "This baby is me. This is what happened."
Oh,
and I just went, like,
yeah.
I was like, and then he was on camera going, and I was like, okay, we're doing the same thing.
His arc is so beautiful to watch, just because
Rob Boy's
he really does go from the reject to the one. You really feel for him.
All right, lots of love, Carson. Hey, Yuka. Love the slow reveal of understanding each samurai's purpose for participating in this final stand. Yeah, I just love all the characters. This movie is amazing.
It's
and I didn't
great.
know, I really truly didn't know what to expect. I didn't know whether to like.
Did you think it was going to be dated, like kind of dry, or
when I started looking up, because I somehow I know the names of like 80% of his films for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I just know them.
Uh-huh.
I know. But I know almost next to nothing about them, and I like everyone, Seven Samurai, But like, but I wouldn't. There are a lot of movies where I haven't seen that like I know a fair amount about, like enough to talk about almost. And then like if you show me images, I'll be like, that is probably from this. This is probably from this. This is whatever. But like this one, I didn't really know, and then I started looking up images and stuff, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. This is it's whatever, but it's whatever. And I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know whether to expect like a contemplative sort of character study with very subtle acting. I didn't know whether to, because that's what I always, when someone's like, it's a great movie, I think of the movies that I think are great movies, and I go, it's going to be very measured and human and whatever. And you watch this and go, it's
an adventure film.
A great action adventure movie.
Yes.
It's what Spielberg made.
Yes.
This is like,
and it has some real pathos to it as well.
100%. That's the thing where I go like, it's like, it is like the sort of thing that Spielberg made, but like it's
deeper.
It's a little, there's a little more. No, I'm not. It's
not a knock.
It's not a knock.
No.
It's just a different kind of like. This is more. I don't know.
Raiders doesn't have that extra level of subtext and emotional weight to it.
Lover watched this on a small laptop screen. I know, I outed myself about that. But here's the thing, I only watched 14 minutes of it, and I started it like at 1 a.m, and then I finished it on this TV screen that you guys can all see.
It's big.
It's super big. It's like 32 inches. So Mifune is doing a lot of broad stuff and acting like a buffoon. Still makes the character sympathetic. It's great. He's a fantastic character. Every single one of these characters has so much depth, and you know them all. It's like the thing is
when
like
each one of these characters dies or gets wounded or whatever happens to these characters. When each one, because a few die, each one you're just like, fuck.
I mean, this is on this sort of level. Like, I understand why Star Wars is the worldwide phenomenon it is. This is every bit and more. Like, I think Star Wars is more. I understand why more people know Star Wars and love Star Wars, and it's more accessible in the United States more than this. But this is every bit and more. You know what I mean? Like, this is an adventure film, an action film, where I care about every single character, and they're instantly iconic.
Yeah.
Like, and someone said something about this movie hitting the ground running, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's a 3.5 hour movie, and this is like, you watch 3.5 hour movies, and there are 3.5 hour movies where you go, cut that. This movie, I'm like, Nah, man, all of it is in
It's
there.
all in there,
I'm
and it's
glad
all
in
put to
there.
good use. And it's always what's so great about like the writing is how they deliver so much information about who the character is strictly through their actions. Like one of the first scenes is I think his name is Takeshi Shimura. He's like the lead guy who's always
Japanese Morgan Freeman.
okay, we're gonna go with that.
Look,
Is that what we're doing?
Look at him. He's Japanese Morgan Freeman.
Whoa! Okay, yeah.
And just watch him talk and what he does and the way he's Japanese. He's
Wow.
100% Japanese Morgan Freeman.
He kind of does that smile.
He's Kanbei.
Yeah.
He's great. And he does do this.
He's amazing. And I've been on like a Kurosawa kick, so I got around to seeing Akira, which he's the lead in, which is about a man and like, his final
I want to see
days,
him in everything.
He's
I want to see
amazing.
him as the president of Deep Impact. I want to see him as Red in Shawshank Redemption. No, but he's fantastic, and I love him so much. He is Morgan Freeman, though. Let's be serious.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Okay.
And what's amazing though is like when you
Yeah, it
first
is
see
comedy.
him, how they introduce him and how you get so much about who his
much.
character
I know.
is just by the way he handles the situation. And this is where the great writing comes in, is like put him in a situation where he has to deal with a hostage or a villain holding a kid hostage. And it shows his smarts because he's like, I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to dress as a monk to get
Oh, I
close.
forgot that's why his head is shaved in the movie.
Yeah.
And this is
because his hair's growing in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so great.
And so so that gets him close to, so that shows his wit. And then by the time he opens the door, when he gets the guy, it shows his quickness and his technique. And then when he leaves he doesn't take anything, and he just picks up his things and he walks off, and he's just very like, that shows how his honor and just how he walks through life. And you get all that without talking about it.
Totally.
It's great.
This movie is there's so many things. This is a movie where the writing is tremendous. There's so much that I want to say, but there's so much in this movie, and this is what makes him a master. Having seen one movie, but this is what makes him a master, is that it's the sort of movie that seems to unfold, like everything that happens seems to come from itself. Everything that happens seems like it's naturally happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel plotted.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it's a thing. It's a thing where you aren't acutely aware of the narrative function of something that's happening.
Like one of
the
the
first
one of
15
the
minutes
first
of
things
inside.
I noticed about this movie was how it started in Iraq, and and I was like, this is great, but Brian's gonna have a real issue.
But
with
it's true. It's true though. This is not a thing where I was like, I know why you're doing this. This is a thing. This is a movie that kept me guessing, and everything said, hey, dude got some fishy ass lips. You got him in black. Got him. I wish I could hit a button. It would just be like, boom, and just blow the whole thing up and be like, roasted. But truly, this is the sort of thing where I go, everything just feels like it is unfolding. I don't see the strings.
Because it's just anything like it should be. Because Carson's making a good point. Show don't tell, which is that's like one of the core like writing things for movies, and yet it just seems to be a lost thing in modern era. There's so much exposition in movies these days, and what's great about this movie is like everything that they talk about is something that either just happened or is about to happen or what's happening to them right now. It's not some like left field thing that is then and that's why it feels so organic, is it doesn't feel plot devicey at all, where it's just like, oh, he's introducing this thing.
You don't
here.
go, this scene is here too. You go, oh, this is happening now, and then something happens, and then by the end of it something else happens, and you go, now that's the scene where that happened, but I did not know that was going to happen. It's amazing. It's incredible. And so much of the film is like that. The camera work, which is
It's great.
I mean, is just gold standard. I mean, it is,
and particularly in 1954, when moving the camera the way he moves it is not a thing.
And that's where you go. You see shots, and you go, it's the Spielberg wonder. That's what it is. Like it starts in a wide. It comes into a two. He turns over. It turns into an over his shoulder.
So beautifully
and it's so. it's so seamless.
And you don't notice it.
You don't, and that is what it is, and that is the soul. That is the soul of the craft of cinema. Yeah. It is everything. Because there's a shot in there that I was kind of, because I'm kind of like paying attention to stuff to kind of try to write it down, and there is, gosh, there's a scene where it keeps cutting between where they're looking out. I think they're watching for samurai. I think where they're and it keeps like there's just people, and then it keeps cutting between the two, and you go like there's the Brody shot.
Oh,
there's the shot from Just.
Yeah.
And then there is that. There's that scene where there's that shot where I didn't realize how incredible it was, how wonderfully blocked it was, until the end of it, where he comes in and he's like he's drunk. Oh my gosh, I howled with laughter. But this is writing. I can't. Gosh darn, I want to say so much stuff. But after he gets clunked on the head and falls, I just lost my shit.
Yeah,
I was like, that's so amazing. They set that up so clearly. Yeah. That's what it is. It's the entire script, all the filmmaking and the writing is so clear and simple. It's not tons and tons and tons of choices. It's the right choices.
It's the right choice. It's almost like core like screenwriting 101 type stuff where it's like set it up in 3 and then get them with the joke on the 3rd. Like there's a lot of just like boom, boom, boom. But it does it so masterfully that you're like, this is those are core elements to screenwriting because they work.
Yeah.
And when you do them beautifully, it all flows together and you just have a story. You don't have a film trying to tell a story. You just have this organic thing in front of you where you're fully invested.
Happening.
Yeah.
And that's how you get these movies that feel like legends. Like this is an instant classic. This is every single one of these characters to me is instantly as memorable and iconic as Han Solo, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're all that. Like, and people, people are always like, keep it simple, stupid. And what you do is you get people going, keep it simple. Okay, I'll do this thing, and you go like, it doesn't work because people just it doesn't work because it's just simple. And I go, well, it's more than that. It's simple, but again, the right choices.
Simple is the hardest thing to do.
It is. But you also like, but if you put together simple and genius, then you get,
because simple is the hardest thing to do when you're doing it the correct way.
Yeah,
it adds such a level of complexity on an emotional and thematic level beneath it, even if on the surface writing level on the page it may seem just very simple, but when you add in everything else that makes movies is like the acting, the direction, the music, the cinematography, and you put it all together. It's just, there are moment after moment after moment in this movie where you're just like, well, shit.
Yep.
That's great.
That's it.
And like, that's not just good. Like that's on its own. That's a great, great scene.
Yeah.
And iconic, like really, like some of the shots in here are just like so iconic. It's beautiful.
But so interwoven into like they don't.
Yeah, nothing feels showy. You know?
And like I was watching a thing and like, and these guys who do, like Tony Zhao, I guess you say, and there's this other dude. I found another I was like, oh, you're good. You know what you're saying, and you're saying it well. These guys who do these video essays love to compare like the old masters to like the Marvel movies. Like they love to go love to crap on the Marvel movies, and like I say plenty about the Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. The Marvel movies are done whatever, but so I don't want to trash the Marvel movies at all because they're not worth trashing, and they do what they do very well.
Yep.
But yeah, like you see shots in and not just Marvel movies, just modern action blockbusters where like it goes dun dun bow, and then the shot begins, and you go, oh, this is gonna be a look how cool this is shot, and it continues, and you go, that's cool. It looks like it looks like a lot of other shots I've seen in a lot of other movies that happen around this point, in the fight or in the whatever, that are trying to make me believe that it's cool, and it looks kind of cool and whatever.
Yeah.
The shots that are iconic in this film are just, they fit in and they work so well with everything, and they're so integrated. It's hard to pick them out almost.
I think it's because he storyboarded, and look, I know most major movies involve storyboards in some way, shape, or form, but he storyboarded. He's a painter.
Yep.
Like a very good painter. Mm-hmm. And he would storyboard himself, all his stuff. Yeah. So it wasn't that he was having to just, like, he had it and then he drew it.
And he edited himself a lot,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I mean,
a fair amount, yeah.
now that I've like gone through half his catalog, I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, I fucking get where that all that esteem came from. Like it's been a treat. I'm gonna be real sad when it's over, but like it has been such a treat to like discuss. Like I still have Jimbo to watch and Hidden Fortress.
I keep seeing images from Ron and being like, oh, I want to do.
So
that.
I'm halfway through that. I'll bring it over next time because I'm gonna finish it up tonight.
We could do 2 weeks on Kurosawa very easily, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Not opposed.
Yeah.
But Cage Musha is amazing. Like it is literally like, and
They're like
the
10 movies that you're like,
dude.
those are the ones you got to.
There are Criterion.
Hidden Fortress, Dreams.
I haven't even seen
like
Dreams
I mean, it's just Ron. What? Throne of Blood.
Throne of Blood's great.
Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
Rashomon. We haven't even mentioned.
Haven't even mentioned Rashomon yet.
Ikiru.
High and low. We're doing high and low.
I mean, gosh darn it.
I still like that's what's
That's
so crazy.
9 and we haven't even taken a breath.
High and Low is a modern like kind of detective, hostage type thing. It's like Ransom, and it's my favorite Kurosawa movie, like by far. And like and he's got this in his catalog.
I know.
Plus other ones of this caliber.
I know.
And I still think High and Low blew me away.
Hey, what's up, MM7? Like, but before I get too far from it, but it's. Okay, I want to say this about the cinematography before I get too far from it, but then I also want to talk about the writing because I want to talk about everything. But in that scene where he gets knocked down and I just laugh my ass off because he's like, here comes a true samurai, thunk, wham, and I go, you set that up so well, and I didn't even realize you were setting it up.
Yeah.
And because like until the moment that he falls, because as he goes, here we go, here, like, and I go, it's probably drunken Toshiro Mifune, and at that point I go, oh, I felt it. I was like, oh, you've set this up as a thing. Because like I love it when he goes, should we give him the usual? I love it.
Yeah.
They're just these great moments, and it's so funny. There's so much humor and humanity in this movie, and then
genuinely funny stuff.
Until the moment that he strikes him, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I do not know what's going to happen. And then he just he drops to
and the
his
way
knees.
he plays it after that, where he gets up, he's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
His performance in this is so, like when they're in the village later in the film, and he's like trying to tame that really old horse. And then he gets on it, and he's like, "I know what I'm doing," and blah blah blah. And then he rides off,
it's so
and he goes,
funny.
and he goes behind the wall,
and he comes out.
I'm
it's
like,
just
"That
the
is so great!"
So
and then
brilliant.
he's limping out.
That's a Chaplin routine.
It is.
It's so brilliant.
It's so good.
Brilliant. But that's the thing is that doesn't feel. It's brilliantly funny. It's grounded in the reality of the film, and it blends together with everything else.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, that movie where the movie stopped being itself and did a gag. No,
it just feels like life.
All of it.
Yeah.
And that's what a great movie. That's what a great film does. But that part where he gets up, he falls and he's drunk, and then he goes like, "Who hit me? Was it you?" And he gets up and then goes and he lurches along that wooden railing, and goes boom, boom, and it follows him, and it's in a close, and then he kind of slumps down and the camera comes in and then he slumps down into an over the shoulder where it's Morgan Freeman or it's Kanbei looking at him just kind of like whatever over the shoulder with the rest of the samurai and it's such a great shot and great final frame that it wasn't until that frame that my body went, oh, that was a continuous. I need to go back and watch that. I looked at him. And only on the second time did I realize that the camera came in.
Yeah.
Because the thing that fantastic cinematography like that does when it's married with a fantastic story and fantastic acting, fantastic writing, is it just mimics what your eye feels like it's doing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see the camera do it. I just felt like I looked at
like
him.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that's.
Yeah.
Because that's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's exaggerated laughing with his shoulders bouncing up. Yeah, and the way he walks and he's just like, it's crazy.
This was my first, because I started with this one because this is like his most famous movie. Scratch that. I started with Rashomon and then I did this one. And with these 1, 2, and then especially when I saw High and Low, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I have missed out on Toshiro Mifune for so long.
Yeah.
Because to me, now having seen him in like Throne of Blood and like a lot of other Kurosawa movies, I'm just like, I can't remember if I told you, but maybe it was to Kelsey, I was just like, he's like to me, he feels like Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight, strictly in terms of like unpredictability.
Sure.
And how I'm just like,
You can do anything.
how it's so interesting to watch because I just don't know at any given moment. And he's making such interesting choices in any movie he's making. He's always doing something that feels completely natural.
Mm-hmm.
He can go big, and yet it still works. And then he'll do little things, like he's, the scratching, or, just like the lick of his lips. Or
Said he watched a video of lions in the wild.
Really?
For his character.
That does not surprise me. And somehow you see that completely in his performance.
Crazy.
So he's been a real revelation for me. And it's been another pleasure to just like start to just devour the movie season because he's so good.
Yeah. I mean, I just love, some of the...
And Takeshi Shimura, like... Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Like,
That guy's great.
This guy.
Yeah.
This
and
guy's
he's in a lot of
amazing.
stuff, correct?
Yeah, he's the lead in Akira, which is wonderful.
Yeah, and it's so crazy how much is in this movie. Like, what an experience it is. I mean, yes, it's 3.5 hours long, but there were just these the moments where Toshiro Mifune is just like laughing and joking with a horde of children. And it's just the most charming thing in the world.
It is so charming.
And I just go, I love this. And it's almost like it feels like a captured, candid moment. It's almost like an outtake, It's like almost like someone was like took video of him screwing around with the kids and to put it in the, but like, that's, it's just so great.
And what's interesting about his character is that
beaming like a kid. Oh yeah.
He's so boastful and he's so kind of surface level bloodlusty and very proud of it that you think when the time comes maybe he'll be fearful or he might be a coward or something to that effect, or he'll have that moment. And what I loved is because of what his backstory ends up being, he's so passionate about defending these people that he's so brave. And when towards the end, I think he's like, they're all going to come on this last day and we're going to let them in. And he comes out and he feels bad because he had been a little stubborn and he like was carrying the weight of one of the deaths of one of the other samurais. And when that final day comes and he just takes like 6 or 7 swords.
Love that line.
And he just puts them in the mud and he sticks one sword in after another. And they're like, what are all these swords for? And what does he say?
He goes, I can't kill 5 with just one blade.
And you go, just like, that is awesome.
Yeah,
and he says it so it's the one, like, that is such a badass line. But what makes it work is that he's been such a boastful character, but when he says that, he means it. Yeah. And that comes from a real place.
Oh, and there are all these moments that are so badass because we haven't even talked about is it Kunzu? I can't. Kuzo.
Oh my God,
that guy's unbelievable.
Oh!
And then, because talk about these moments, like that actor's unbelievable. He comes back with the rifle and hands it to him. He goes 2 down. He goes 2 more down, then sits down and just closes.
And you're
his
just
eye,
like,
and you go,
oh. And then you also understand, he's like, oh, that's where that quiet badass archetype comes from.
Exactly.
And he does it so well.
And no one's done it better. Like these characters, because I'm watching the because like I was watching it and I was kind of like, and I was like, okay, Toshiro Mifune is going to show up at some point. Like, and he's a badass. I know he's a badass and whatever, and blah blah blah. And I stopped at one point, like looked it up because I didn't know. I mean, I'd seen him before, but I didn't. And then I was like, he's the drunk guy. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so I was watching him, and I'm watching him. And I go, oh, I get it. Oh, his character's great. And I go, oh, he's Han Solo. He's Han Solo. He's like the archetype for Han Solo. Yeah. And then he goes further, and I go, no. Han Solo is a light version of this. Yeah. Like, this is awesome. Yeah. And
he's truly unpredictable.
And he's such a live wire. And that beautiful, that wonderful monologue that he has about how, this is where
his resentment of like